meter now with the Sharp CB4470. Unfortunately, I've had a little of a slight technical hitch. I did all this wiring on the radio, filmed it all, and then, don't ask what I was doing, I just decided I was going to delete all the footage, thinking it was an old video. So I'm going to have to go back over what I've done because it's already done now. So, as most of you suggested, I hardwired the yellow wire, or what was the yellow wire, onto the back of the pin against the board. See, all the cases are all back on now. And that yellow wire is now turned into this brown wire, because that's what I used as a full replacement brand new bit of wire. And that came down, and let me just pull this over a bit. I then mounted it onto this point here. Now, when I desoldered and cleaned all the board, I found out that the reason why there was nothing like a link wire or anything going across that should have been there is the pad had been ripped off. So someone's been working in here before on those connectors. So I've got two broken pads. So what I've had to do is I've had to put a link wire across to here and then down to there to make it all good. And then I replaced all the other wires that were on that header as well, and I've hard soldered those all to the bottom of the pads where that connector previously would have gone, which is, if we can get down in there, it was that connector that went there, but I completely removed it and wired it in. So what I'm going to do now is put the radio back together. Actually, no, I won't put it back together. Let's try it before I do that and see whether the thing fires up. So let me quickly stick a dummy load on the back so we can wire it up to the power pack, which I've got just sitting here, and we'll see if it kicks into life. Okay, so here's all the components. We've got the handheld mic that's got everything in, my SWR meter here, the radio itself. So if we flick the power on, as you can see, we've got sound. This is now flashing on channel 9. And we have fully adjustable volume, squelch. Yeah, let you hear that. You can hear the squelch sounds really good. Ready? Listen to this. So that's that. Fully adjustable volume, no volume, maximum volume, so that's working well. So we're flashing away on channel 9, so we've got the up down buttons here, so we can go up to the 1.9, we can go down to channel 40, so all the digits and everything's working alright. So let's try it on channel 1 and we'll try and key up. So let me move you now so you can see the SWR meter. Oh, you can't see it. I'll leave you sitting there, then you can see it. Right, so we will key up, set the meter to here, go on to reflected. So we've got 4 watts on channel 1, as you can see that there. 4 watts. Right, let's go to channel 40. We'll try the same thing again. Go on to forward. That's okay as it is. Go reverse or reflected. And we've got just very slightly under 4 watts on channel 40. So that is working. So the thing we need to do now is I need to put another radio on, and we need to see if we've got modulation. Because I think, my gut feel is the only thing that was wrong with that radio was the fault that was causing no sound, etc. And yeah, at the moment it looks like it has just packed up and stopped working, because 4 watts is good enough. So let's set up the other radio and see if we've got any volume. Okay, so what I've done, I've set up the Stealth radio and put it on channel 1 AM. I'm now going to transmit on the other one and we'll see what we get. Initial test of the Sharp CB4470 modulation check, and that seems to be perfect. Okay, let's get this thing back together and we'll revisit what we've done. Back over onto the bench. Actually, let's go the other way and see if I transmit on the other one, whether you can hear me on this one. 1, 2, testing the Sharp CB4470. Modulation check from the stealth radio back over to the unit itself. And that receive sounds very, very good. Okay, so that sounds quite good. Let's get this thing back together. So the thing's all back together now and in its case. All the screws are done up and she's all ready to rock and roll. Got the speaker and the remote unit. So I've really enjoyed doing this repair. It's saved this. This is a nice bit of CB nostalgia, especially unusual with it all being in the one handheld mic. So what we'll do now, we'll chuck this thing in the car and I'll see you out there, because we're going to go live and we're going to go for a road test. Right, join me just coming up to the Dartford Bridge. Turn that down. I've got the Sharp CB4470 in the motor. Just going to give it a test run. I did try it the other day and I did actually pick up a random AM station on the bridge. So I'm going to give him a call and see if he's out there again. But yeah, great. Lovely little radio. Seems to be going okay. So once I just get up the bridge a bit, I'll give him a call. We're nice and high up and we'll see if we can get a contact. I'm just on my way home from work at the moment. It's, what's today? It's the 22nd of December today. So yeah, traffic's not too bad, but it could be better. So let's put a call out and we'll see who comes back. Anybody out there on the 19 tonight on the old Auntie Mary?
Yes, I am in my shack.
Hello again, how are you doing?
I've been listening to the American skip coming in most of the afternoon. Quite loud as well.
Oh, roger, okay. I did hear some on Channel 6. Is that what you've been listening to?
Yeah, that's the Super Bowl. Yeah, I did have a listen on there. There was actually a few, they was actually working a few UK stations. So I didn't try very hard to call in. But there was other stations that were making the trip. I don't really fancy talking to Americans actually, because they sound like demented hillbillies.
I'm sure they'll appreciate that.
They sort of babble away, you can't understand what they're saying. Do they really talk like that in real life? I remember when the CB first started in the UK, everyone spoke in American CB language.
I apologise to my American
but,
viewers.
Later on, like nowadays, everyone just talks normally in English. But in America, they still talk like demented hillbillies. And you can't understand the word they're saying hardly.
Yeah, well, they still do it properly. We've given up on all the language over here. A lot of people have just moved on. But I'm just on the Dartford Bridge at the moment, so I'm just coming down the other side, so I'll probably lose you for a bit, but I'll give you a call again when I get on the M2.
Roger, received.
Okay, alright, I'll catch you in a bit, because I'm just coming to the bottom of the bridge now.
Roger, I've still got you, but I'll catch you when you come past.
Okay, will do. Speak to you in a bit. So, again, I apologise to all my American viewers. That's his view, not mine. So yeah, that was the AM set. So the repair that I did with all the wires and everything is working really well. He's at a place called Gravesend. I'm on the Dartford Bridge. He's not a million miles away, but I'll show you on a map potentially where he is. It's still a good few miles as the crow flies. The thing I do find with AM is it hasn't got the distance that the FM's got. When we're mobile on FM, we can get up to 15 miles. On AM, you're lucky to get 4 or 5. So for all you guys in the States who are getting FM, if you use it mobile, you're certainly going to notice a difference on your mobile copies. You'll be getting a lot further. Anyway, I'm going to drive along here for a bit, then I've got to turn left and head down another road. So I'll catch you once I get on that road, and we'll see if we can pick this guy up again. See you in a bit. Right, I'm back. Let me just angle you up a bit more. I've got a problem with this camera mount, it keeps drooping, but anyway, let's try the guy again. There's not really much for you to see, unfortunately, because the mic's got everything in it. But hold on, I've got to change gear. It's a problem with not having an auto, you've got to keep changing gear. Right, let's try again. Yeah, Colin, do you copy?
Yeah, Roger.
Yeah, I'm just coming up to Blue Water now, and yeah, making good time tonight. How did you get on with your car? Did you get your car back?
Yeah, I went yesterday. I didn't get it on the Monday. I went on the Tuesday morning, and it actually passed the MOT. Even though it's 23 years old, it passed the MOT. But there's a few advisories that they reckon the rear springs, like suspension springs, are getting a bit rusty, and the brake discs are a bit cracked and scored, and things like that. But it passed the emission test okay, and the exhaust's not got a hole in it, and the tyres are okay. So as long as the car still keeps going, I'm going to keep driving it.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it's 23 years old, that's not bad for an MOT, and as you say, you passed as well, so you could go out and get a new car and have endless trouble with it.
Yeah, Roger, I suppose so. I've actually got two laptops in front of me. I've got my i5 Acer, and I've also got a old Dell laptop, and I've just finished doing the old Dell laptop. It's only got a single core processor with no hyper-threading, and it's just finished a climate prediction work unit for Boeing, and the work unit took 42 days to do that. Over that's nearly 6 weeks it took to do it. But anyway, I finished it at about 4 o'clock this morning. So now I've been doing all sorts of updates to it, and I've actually rebooted it back into Windows now, and I'm running BitMessage, and there's thousands of messages coming in, which are nearly all junk messages that I've got to delete one after the other. And the Acer laptop, that's doing Stockfish testing. That's testing the Stockfish chess engine, and it's playing hundreds of games of chess and testing out the results.
On about. He lost me a computer.
So they're both busy at the moment.
Oh, Roger, no, you lost me at the word computer. That's about as much as I know on computers. My brother's a bit of a whiz on the PC, so if I get any problems, I just drop it off. He does whatever he does, and it comes back fixed. That suits me fine.
Yeah. In general, mostly they run Linux, but they've both got Windows hard drive. I've both got Windows hard drive. The old Dell, that's running Windows 7, and the Acer, on the other hard drive, I installed Windows 10. But apart from keeping it updated, in general I've not actually used Windows on it at all. I keep it updated, but I don't actually use it to do anything. The majority of my computing is done using Ubuntu Linux.
How did you get onto computing? Oh, Roger, okay. Yeah, no, I only use mine for a bit of email and some video uploads and things, and that's about it, really.
Well, you can do that okay with Linux. They've got the Thunderbird email client that you can use.
Thunderbirds? It's got Troy in it. And a rocket.
You can upload and download. You can do BitTorrent as well if you do that sort of thing. You can do BitTorrent and download films and music and albums and stuff.
No, I to be honest with you, I don't do much on computers. They're there. I use them for email and a little bit, but that's it. I say I'm not computers. If you assume I know nothing about computers, You're not far wrong.
Well, I didn't get my first computer until 2012, and one of my friends from along the road, he gave me an old Elenex computer, which was actually very old and slow because it was made in 1997. So it was old and worn out even then. But I updated it as best I could by getting a new processor, and I put as much memory in it as I could, and the biggest hard drive I could, and I ran it for several years until I accidentally blew it up. I blew up the power supply, and after that I just scrapped it. But I kept the processor. I keep that on the shelf in the hall as a souvenir.
Oh well. Have you sort of fixed it to something?
No, it's just sitting on the shelf.
Oh right, I thought you might have put it on like a little plinth thing and sort of made a sort of feature of it.
No, it's an old Intel Pentium 233 MMX.
No
Absolutely
idea.
ancient and slow. The best operating system that I found for the old 233 MMX was Windows 2000 Professional. When I first got it, it had Windows ME on it, and I tried running Windows 98, and that was too old and useless. So I put Windows 2000 Professional on it, and that works great. And then eventually I upgraded it to Windows XP, but it didn't really work very well with XP because it was too slow and didn't have enough memory to work properly.
So what you said took, I think it was 42 days. Is that made it a lot faster now?
I'm not using the same computer. I don't have that anymore. I left it out the front for the chippos to take away. The Dell laptop that I'm using now, it took 42 days to do a climate prediction work unit.
That's what I just said.
Whereas the Acer, that was on target to do 4 in 30 days. But when I tried doing 4 at once on the Acer, 3 of them crashed and only 1 of them finished. So after that I started doing 2 at a time, and it did 2 in 14 days, which I thought was not too bad.
I've no idea. I'm assuming that's good. No, I know of Windows XP because I used to use that at work, and then I know of Windows 7 and 10, but that's about it. But again, very, very minimalist. I have to use a computer when I have to, but I know people are really into them, but no, I'm afraid all that passes me by. I do what I need to do, and that's it, sort of thing.
Oh, Roger, you're beginning to go over the other side of the hill from me a bit, so I'm losing you. But you might pick up a bit when you start going up Bluebell Hill.
Yeah, I'm just coming up to the crest of the hill, and then I'm going to drop down onto the M2, the Rochester Bridge.
Okay, I think I've pretty much lost you now.
Okay, well, if you've lost me, you won't hear it, but I'll give you 73s and I'll catch you again.
Yeah, Roger, nice contact.
Yeah, okay, you have a good evening, and if I don't catch you, have a good Christmas, and all the best for the new year. Oh well, we've lost them. Now, here's the little handy unit. Let me turn that down for a bit. So that wasn't too bad. I mean, we had a good conversation. I'll show you on the map where we picked him up from originally, where we contacted him again, and where we've roughly got to. Now, considering this radio that I'm using was £7.50 spares or repair, it's not working too bad. I quite like the little handy unit with it all on. There's very few people in the UK on AM, and to get someone on channel 19 AM, I wasn't expecting to get anyone, and he came back to me. I did speak to him day before yesterday. He came back out of the blue. I was trying to arrange a mate of mine to give me a call on AM. but I picked him up first. And yeah, nice guy to come back. I was having a little bit of a laugh and a joke about the computer side, but at the end of the day, I know nothing about computers, so I am a waste of time to talk to about computers. I've got no idea what that guy said, but hey ho. Each their own. Everyone likes different things, you know. Some computers, some CB. So, but good of him to come back. Fully road tested it, so I'm going to get motoring now. Oh no, I'm not going to get motoring now. Oh God, look at this, a sea of red up ahead, and accident, slow down lights are on, and the 50 limit's on, and this is just where I'm looking to turn off. So I'll keep you on. You can have a look at some of the UK roads. I'm hoping you can see out the front there. I didn't set it up too well, and we'll see what becomes of my journey. Obviously nighttime driving in the UK, anyone in the UK is familiar with it, but if you're overseas, something different to see. There's a big bridge to the left of me with a load of water on it, which is the town of Rochester. That's got an ancient medieval castle there, I'll show you. But at the moment we're still motoring, which is good. Supposed to be doing 50, but we're doing 60, but we won't mention that. It's not a mandatory speed limit, it's an advisory one. So if those signs are flashing in yellow, that's advisory. If they're in a red circle, it's mandatory. So I can speed a bit along here, and in theory I can't get a ticket. But if I have a crash, then that might be slightly different. Anyway, that's my belief of the highway code, as it's called. So, but it looks like I'm about to come to a standstill, so that's not good. Oh well, my mate's up here a bit further up the road. I have told him to try and listen to the 1.9, but whether he's going to be on the radio or not, I don't know. Oh jeez, flashing lights as well. And so we've come to a halt. Now there's a oh, the police have closed the road and we're all hailed. Brilliant. Well, I'm assuming that's the police in the outside lane. Don't know. I would put some Christmas music on because that's the radio station plays nothing but Christmas music. But unfortunately, oh, police are coming up the hard shoulder. They're going to come up our inside in a minute. Here he goes. Nice and slow. So yeah, that's my journey cocked up. So anyway, I'm going to turn this off for a bit, do a bit of queue busting, and I might be back later if anything occurs. Looks like we're off. Someone's off in their speedy car. Load of police sirens were going, but I don't know what they've been up to, but wagons roll. I'd like to put the hammer down, but I suspect if I put the hammer down, I'll be up the back side of the car in front. Oh well, we got far. Unfortunately, I've got to turn off, so I've got to stay in this lane because I'm coming off the motorway. So let's hope it's not in this lane. God. Based on the queue, it doesn't look promising. So much for being in a hurry. it looks like it's 1 mile until we turn off, so we've got 1 mile of this traffic jam to go through. So I won't subject you to that, I'll be back in a bit. Well, still sitting here at the moment, we haven't moved. I was playing a game of, I don't know if you can see that private number plate in front on that Audi. He's got S4F and then D0, Safdo. I'm not really sure what that's meant to spell, so if anyone's got any ideas, let me know. Oh, hang on. Oh, now we've got the fire brigade go up there. We had a meat wagon go up earlier, so looks like it's a big old accident. Oh well, back to the Christmas music. I'll catch you in a bit.
No, you have to switch Graham to talk to me.
He's talking to someone else now. There's obviously someone else on AM. But
I am in my shack, listening for any Auntie Mary contacts on this channel. Over, Roger.
Sounds like the other guys on FM.
Understand you while you're on FM. You have to switch to AM to talk to me. You have to switch to AM to talk to me. I can't understand you while you're on FM.
Oh, another fire engine. Oh well, back we go. So I hope you've enjoyed our little series on the Sharp CB4470. Will this be the last you see it? No, it will not. I have some further plans for the radio, so keep watching and it may be back in the future. So have a good Christmas, happy New Year. Thank you for all my subscribers this year. Keep watching because there's lots more stuff to come on the channel. Have a good one. 73s, 51s, we're clear.